live from Las Vegas.
Where are we?
It's not really live, but it's live to tape.
It's live here?
From the Excel 401k, the Advisors Conference, we have the editor-in-chief of that lovely magazine that Mark is reading over there, John Sullivan.
Can you quiet down so I can read, please?
You know Mark has a hidden book in there, right? Like he's not actually studying or reading industry-related topics.
Not only doesn't know what the word fiduciary means, he has trouble reading.
I was looking for the pictures and I didn't find it. It's a lot of words in there.
There are good pictures in there. Welcome, John. Thank you for hopping on the show with us.
You know, Carson, Letterman, Retireholics. I'm on the
couch.
Finally,
You're committing career suicide right now.
It's funny that you bring that up, John, because do you know that today we had our first fan incident? We had a fan come up,
exciting.
And she asked for our autograph, all of us, on a Retireholics hat. Shannon Maloney. Am I getting that right? Yep.
Yeah.
From Detroit.
Very nice.
So Shannon, shout out to you.
Thank you for making us feel good.
Remember
Appreciate that.
Autographed hat is devaluing every year, so you probably want to get rid of it.
She said she's putting it next to her awards.
I think it's already on eBay.
John, Mr. Media Juggernaut, have you had anyone ask you for autographs at this conference?
All the time, man.
Oh,
It's just I gotta, put my head down, get the glasses on, just move quickly from, place to place.
He's got a stamp. He doesn't even sign anymore. He just stamps everything as he
I was
walks
trying
by.
to put him on blast. Like every episode, we have got the beer of the episode. So Chad, would you pump these out and then I'll talk about it because this one's kind of close to my heart.
And we do have a special beer for our guest and a special beer for the rest of us that will be debuting itself shortly.
So I finally quit drinking after years and years of having a blast, and I've been waiting forever for the Retireholics invite, and you guys invite me after I stop drinking. I mean, come on, you're just messing with me now.
We support the responsibility of that.
I did build a time machine.
Perfect timing.
We are drinking Waialua wheat, and when I go to Maui, which I do each and every year, if I go to the bar, this is the beer I ask for.
If you go to the bar?
Okay?
So
Yeah,
when will you be having
on.
one of these in Maui?
I will be there in about a week.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers,
guys. Cheers to your health. Yeah,
Thanks for
joining
joining us.
This is all right.
In addition to the Waialua wheat, we have Extra Kinky, an extra naughty fusion of hints of mango, blood orange, and passion fruit, 8% alcohol. The word of the episode today is financial. If any of the Retireholics, John, you're excluded from this silly game.
I want in, man.
If any of these Retireholics say the word financial after that last one, you will drink from these little pink cups here. And
I think we should see if John likes us or does not like us, so every time he says it, we all have to take one sip.
ooh, that could be scary.
So you might sabotage us and just send
you
us
guys will
down
be
the
hammered
drain.
by the time.
That could be very
Be
scary.
careful. That means bad things
Could be a
for you,
problem.
sir.
So you're drinking something called Kinky. What kind of a show
Yeah,
is this?
it's a little creepy, but
We are in Vegas.
Right.
first thing I'd like to dive into is, as I flip through the magazine, and I usually do it in a digital sense, but I've also done it in the hard copy sense.
Sure.
I see a different vibe going on. I see a little bit of an edgy thing. I see it in some of the photos. I see it in some of the headlines, some of the slang. I see some fun involved there. Is that just me reading into something that's not there, or is that something you guys are actually intentionally trying to do over at 401k
I
Specials?
love that question, JD. You know, usually I get, well, the magazine looks so great. You know, it's just a really nice, almost lifestyle look to it, which we do by design. But you know, my second question is, well, do you read the thing, man? You know, I write it, so that's what I want to hear about. And it's
What
great
about
that
the
you actually
words?
do it. Yeah, so that's fantastic. But no, exactly what you're saying. It's true. It's a little bit more of an edgy vibe. I mean, we want to have fun, right? We want to make sure that we get people engaged. God knows, in today's media environment, you've really got to do something different. You know, here we are, right? You guys decided to drink a bunch of alcohol. I'm trying to have an edgier voice, right? So, but it's definitely got us noticed, you know, out there in the zeitgeist. We're trying to take a non-traditional voice within the magazine. I always say it's more like Huffington Post than it is Washington Post, you know, in terms of just how it's structured, not necessarily the politics. We try and stay away
Those
from
are
that.
other media published things, Mark, that are out there. So.
They should know.
We didn't know.
No, I totally agree. If I'm
more out there
if I'm
besides
reading
401k
about
Specialist magazine,
safe
but-
harbor or fiduciary rules or financial wellness, I'd like to.
I know.
Dang it.
Nice.
Usually Mark's the
I would
auditor
like
in
to
this.
be entertained a little bit
Yeah.
as I do that.
Nice.
I mean, that's the
can't
thing,
hear.
right? We can have fun with this stuff. At the same time, you don't want to be superficial. You don't want to disrespect the content. We're talking about people's livelihoods here. We're talking about their retirement hopes, dreams, survival even. And so it's deadly serious topics. And I know that that's what you guys do. Look, you have a blast here, right? You have a lot of fun and it really engaging. But at the end of the day, the content has to be number one.
Yep.
It has to be something that's
God,
of
I
value.
feel like I've heard Chad say that 17,000 times.
For this show, yeah.
I'm the content nerd. Got to make sure something hits.
I ripped it off because I watch you guys religiously, and I was like, I'm gonna just throw Chad some, a bone here. So yeah.
Here's a thought that I'd stumbled upon. It's not just a magazine. You have
Correct.
all kinds of other deliveries or channels. It's digital, it's hard copy. You guys do CE credit.
Yep.
You did a big awards thing at this conference.
Yeah, that was
You're
fantastic.
the media brand for this
Yeah.
conference,
Yep.
this national conference. You do videos on YouTube. I mean, there's several things happening here. And if I'm an advisor out in the world, I may check in daily to learn about things. I'm assuming you guys are trying to make my practice better. You're trying
exactly what it is,
to
yep.
teach me things. Obviously, CE credit. You're trying to, back at the home office, is that something you guys are talking about a lot? Like, whereas we've got to give them value, we've got to help them improve things. Is that a constant conversation?
That's exactly what it is, yeah. So, our mission is like your mission. Overall, we all benefit if we, pump the overall industry and we make other people look good in the eyes of their clients. It's going to come back on us. And so we want to make sure that we're multifaceted, multimedia in terms of how we deliver information, how we deliver content, all sorts of different ways that you can access that, as you mentioned. So absolutely, that's kind of our number one job directive, if you will, is what can we do different that's engaging. And just like you guys are involved in behavioral economics, so are we in terms of trying to get people to read. It's a really behavioral science in terms of how we get eyeballs on what we need to. I mean, a lot of it's what you would think, right? It's subject line optimization. It's really making it kind of cool, something that's going to draw people in.
Clickbait.
But it's not, though, right? Because at the end of the day, once they open it up, it's got to be something
Yes.
that you got to deliver, right? Or they're
In
going to
our,
stop.
in our genre, yeah, you don't want to go there and then there's no value.
There's no
They
value.
won't.
They're
You
going
won't
to
go
stop
back.
trusting you, right?
won't go back.
Exactly. That's
Folks are
exactly what
busy,
it
and
is.
so you need to have some of that value.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how would you see an advisor engaging with the magazine? Is it daily checks like that? Do you think it's
Well, we'd love that, right?
hard copy order? I mean, how
Yeah,
would you
there's-
see folks engaging?
There's some bifurcation, if you will. We still got a lot of older guys that are actually reading the publication, right?
There's a lot of older financial advisors out there.
Can you believe that? What? Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
Good catch.
Gotcha.
Hey,
guys
John,
are
real
good.
quick, just kind of off the cuff here. How
Yeah.
many subscribers would you say you have?
Right now we got 39,000 for the.
He's making fun of me.
Yeah, I know he doesn't even care.
Jay,
No,
yeah.
last
no,
night-
No, I actually do care.
Last
I was
night,
like, great question. Thanks so
no,
much.
actually, you just
just
crushed
crushed
us.
it,
yeah.
Last night, Sherry Fitz and I battled on how many email subscribers we had, and we're nowhere near you. So John gets the prize.
So you're now
No,
on
no,
the
no.
leaderboard. We're going to keep
Wow.
running.
Okay, so back to it,
Oh,
though.
but you said
John,
I want
can
winner
ask
right
you-
across
can
here.
Can you email me that list sometime later?
Yes, I will, absolutely.
Then
So
I'll
39
talk, Sherry.
Sorry, you're not on it. He doesn't
Not a
have your
chance.
address.
So, John, 39,000.
So 39,000 for the actual subscriber base for the magazine itself.
Okay.
And then there's about 41,000 on the email, Tuesday email that goes out, e-newsletter.
Jeez.
You upped it a little
Just,
bit there.
now it's at 41, JD.
I'm putting you on the spot, and if you don't have the answer, it's not a big deal.
No, it's all right.
Do you, since we're going through these numbers, do you know, like, ballpark, how many retirement plan advisors, I know that's a loose term, are in the United States?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. We had to actually go out and define that, what we felt, because there's no designation, you're not going to
Yeah.
get really a CFP on a wide spread that can tell you that. There's no license that specifically designates who these guys are. So we really struggled with that, but we partnered with a private company who kind of does that kind of thing, and we feel that we've got a pretty solid list, from the qualifying questions that we have, in order to get the magazine, we think that we've narrowed it down. So we're reaching a kind of a very targeted, very specific audience, niche audience, if you will, that we feel is pretty strong. But, you're absolutely right, JD. That was probably the biggest job that we had when we were launching, was just trying to identify who it's going to go to.
Because-
We had to weed out a lot of people we did not want.
Is there a number? Do we know? No, I'm curious for myself.
I don't know.
Not
To
gonna
be honest
share
with you,
that.
man.
That's
a
I
big
think it's
number.
a lot less than you would think.
Yeah, I do
which,
too.
I think translates to opportunity for
You
these
know why I
guys
want
out
to
there.
know? You know what I know? Is because when I get very low YouTube views, it just validates that for me. I'm like, oh, there's not that many guys out there. It's good.
That's what it is. It's not the content, man.
There's
No.
12. There's 12.
And I
Single
also want to
digits
be
is still
clear,
not good.
I
Yeah.
forgot to tell Sherry, I'll bet you I crush her in terms of unsubscribed.
Look, Fitz is
That's not
she's
something to be
crushing
proud
us
of.
all, right? So I mean, you're in good company here, for God's sakes.
Well, thanks for that information.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut to a break. Now, here's the thing. Usually, this is the time of the show where we do some hijink. We play a game. We put Chad's hand in a mouse trap. Justin
So awesome.
slaps his butt with a wet towel and all
Not
kinds of
as
things.
awesome, but okay.
We're gonna go with a mature, responsible approach today.
While we drink beer.
At this conference, we learned about mission-made gifts from Ross Moreno, and instead of us trying to tell you about it, we'll cut to a piece where he told us about it right on this couch. Hi, Ross. We are here at the Excel 401k, the Advisors Conference in Las Vegas, and the Advisors Conference. And at the keynote, you talked a bit about the mission-made gifts. Is that correct, the name of
is.
it? Can you share more with our advisor audience what that is and why they should be interested in it?
Sure, happy to. Thanks so much. Appreciate you guys having me on here. So our company started our own nonprofit a few years ago. We made the decision that instead of just doing the food bank for half a day or maybe donating some money around the community, we'd shoot a little higher. So we started a nonprofit called Mission Made Jewelry, and we go into developing countries where there's just a lot of nasty things that happen from global poverty. We buy items, we import them, and we sell them here in the US. And we've been doing that for a few years at events and on the website. Had a great response to that. Earlier this year, we decided in our practice we wanted to do something a little more focused for our clients. We do birthday cards, we do Christmas type events, but we wanted to do something where we could connect with them even better. So we thought, what a better way to do it than to create a gifting program specifically for advisors and their clients. So here's what we came up with. It's about 2 minutes where you can put together an entire gift, whether it's a new car someone purchased or they have a vacation home, they just retired, they took on a new job, maybe they moved, got a new home. There's all these events that take place out there. We wanted to create something where we could send them on the spot a gift that was thoughtful, that was unique, and that was simple to put together. So we did it with Mission Made Gifts. We've launched it, been using it in our own branch for about 6 months, and now we've made it available to other advisors.
It's the 2.0 of a Christmas card, birthday acknowledgement kind of thing, right? And doing good for the world at the same time.
Well, part of it is that people don't expect it, and that's important. So when someone says we just bought a new car, and we've done this twice already. So we had 2 different key fobs that we sent out to people who had purchased a new car. Both of them sent emails saying thank you so much and 5 or 6 pictures of their car.
Let me
They were
wrap
that
it.
excited.
Let me wrap it with this. We talked with Sherry Fitz last night, and her concept was be unforgettable. And with your clients, this is a great way to do it.
Yeah,
So,
thanks so much. It is.
Advisors, yeah, check it out. Take a look at it. And Ross, thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely. Website missionmadegifts.org. Mission Made Gifts.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you.
So, the history of our industry in terms of buzzwords, Chad and I believe that we kind of started with fiduciary was a big thing, then fees, now it's like retirement readiness, financial wellness.
Boom.
Dang it.
Wait,
I was waiting for
I
that
said
one
the
to
other
be
day,
You
if
had
I
to
hear-
say
if I
it,
hear
though.
retirement readiness again, I'm going to throw up. But I know it's relevant.
Now you're just going to
Well,
throw
folks
up
are
some
leveraging these topics. They have been for years. When I first started in the business, everybody was on fiduciary. And I feel like that's transitioned a bit. It's still incredibly relevant, obviously. But it's moved on now. The folks who are doing a great job helping their clients is big around participant outcomes, which was the award that you all provided, the best advisors ranked by participant outcomes. And it's been retirement readiness. And so I think what we'd like from you, especially since you see a broad range of topics and industry.
And from the
talk to different
journalist
people and-
perspective,
exactly.
What
What's
have
next?
been the big things? And if you say retirement readiness, I'm going to throw my beer at you or something. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so what's next?
Well, here's the thing, though, right? I got to push back a little bit because we're so sick of fiduciary, we're so sick of financial wellness, because we always.
Thanks a lot, John. Appreciate
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
Bro.
Now I thought you guys just surfed a lot, and that's why you're sunburned. But now I realize you're just drinking yourself.
Yeah,
to
right.
I don't serve.
Ugh.
I don't want to get eaten by a shark.
death. Definitely down that one.
It's delicious.
Sorry, go
There's no
ahead.
such thing as sharks, Mark.
How is your guys'
No,
still
that's
right.
full?
I've only had a drink
You take a
once.
sip.
Who's sipping?
No, JD
Oh.
said you have to
Sip?
drink the whole thing.
Oh.
No, he's been filling his up every time.
Well, gee.
They didn't understand the rules.
Can we let John
They
get
weren't-
back to
they
his
weren't
value
It's
Yeah,
all right,
sorry.
man. This is
content?
more entertaining, trust me.
Jeez.
Anyways, you know, some of the things that we always say that we're so sick of, I mean, just even like, you know, Trump and the election and all of that stuff last year, every time we'd get into the subject line, our numbers were through the roof. So if we get, screw it, financial wellness in there,
You did that on purpose.
yep,
Thanks for that, by the way.
yeah. If we get fiduciary, if we get these terms in there, as much as everybody says they're sick of them, that's when we really start to see our engagement go up. So they're still huge. They're still, you know,
Yeah, they're still
We're all
relevant.
like, puke. I don't want to hear it again. But yeah, they're absolutely still relevant.
It's still, and we say that, it's the session that I sought after yesterday and
Right.
made sure I went into.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We all want to hear about it, even though we are getting beat with it.
Yep. 'Cause it's just so important. But yeah, exactly. To answer your question, though, you know, right now what we're seeing is the total cost of benefits, right? So, you know,
Okay. Fair
you've got
enough.
the, you know, one employer dollar, you got the one employee dollar. We've heard about this before, but how are you going to allocate? You know,
You're talking HSA.
That's what it
to
is.
Combining. Okay.
Especially, well, on the employee side, that's why you're seeing the rise of, you know, in our opinion anyway, the rise of HSAs, because there's only so much that you can spend of that, you know, retirement benefit
Yep.
dollar, if you will, on healthcare, and it's getting increasingly more about that. I mean, retirement benefits are what, 3% of the dollar spend, you know, something like that, something
Yeah, well,
outrageous.
if healthcare and retirement is a big piece of the pie, then it's a relevant part of the discussion
That's the
right
thing,
now.
and it's crowding out so much of the other discussions that you've got to have right now, and they've got to come up with some kind of a solution, which HSA I think is absolutely fantastic. But, you know, in answer to your question, JD, that's what we're really seeing is, okay, it's not so much about health versus retirement versus whatever, you know, voluntary, whatever else is out there, pet insurance and all this other stuff, right? It's about, you know, the CFO looking at it and saying, okay, how much am I actually spending and am I maximizing this? And so that's really what we're seeing.
I like that. I wasn't anticipating that, but now that makes perfect sense
Yeah.
to me. And I agree with you 100%. And I'm excited to see also how the industry reacts to that and what kind of tools and solutions
It's
we bring.
exciting, man, because you know, it's, you know,
Yeah.
necessity is the mother of invention, right? So we're
Oh,
going to
yeah,
see
they're
some
gonna
really
create
cool
some stuff.
Yeah,
They're gonna create some stuff.
You know, from
I
a
love
journalism
that.
standpoint, it's absolutely fascinating. You know, to
Yeah, you guys like new stuff.
Yeah, we love it. I
Creates
got to
a
write
hype.
about something, right?
Got to
So-
have something to write about, yeah. Well, I'm not going to bore the audience with asking you questions about writer's block and how I could better write my blog. Maybe I'll ask you that later. Do you ever read my blog?
all the
Don't
freaking
lie.
time.
Don't
That's
lie to
what-
the
every
camera.
Monday morning, man. That's what I do.
Can I
That-
just
that
say
is an
that?
actual-
Can I just say we were at JD's house for another work thing,
Right.
and he read to, I think all of us, your, I guess the editor's note in the beginning of
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
one of the magazines,
Sure.
and he was like just screaming it like it was the gospel. It was fantastic, but there were some
Man,
words
you're
in
gonna
there
creep them
that
out.
were.
I
You're
like
gonna
it. A
creep
lot of
them out.
inflection
Yeah.
into it. I want to see that. Man. That's great.
There was the way it was written. Is that like you? So when you write sort of some of the words, some of the slang, like JD was saying earlier, is that kind of how you wanted all of this to look, or is that only kind of subject for your little editor's note? Not little, but
Yeah,
you know what I
a
mean.
little bit of both, to be honest
Okay.
with you. I wanted to play throughout the magazine a common thread, but
Okay.
yeah, the editors know. Let's face it, it's an ego play, right? I mean, that's kind of where you get to go a little crazy and make
Okay.
it about you, and
Right.
hey, this is what I want you to get out of this. So it's a little bit of both, you know. But I definitely want that vein, kind of the subversive vein, to run throughout the magazine because, you know, what you guys are doing here, we got to shake this up a little bit, right? And we want millennials, we want younger people engaged earlier, and this is the way that you're going to do it.
Do you want to
right?
really shake it up? I'm talking take it next level, shake it up.
Do
I
guys?
mean,
Do
so
you want to
there's-
take,
Do I,
do you
man?
want to take an idea?
do you want to
Yeah,
sell
that's the question.
ads? Do you want to sell tons of
Yeah.
magazines? Do you want to go next level?
You want to see?
No,
you
I don't
wanna
want any of
flip
that.
the
Of
script?
have-
course I do. I mean,
We have
come
an
on now.
idea. We're pitching it to you
The
right now
solution.
on the show for all our millions of
It's
viewers
obvious.
to hear.
All right, this never happens. I've never pitched with ideas.
Could
Go
you
ahead.
imagine on the cover
Look at
of
that
that
map.
magazine,
Instead
instead of that,
responsible
all of us.
people.
Yeah.
We're gonna make one right now.
Oh,
Hopefully you don't sue us
man.
for that. But
maybe
we're
it's
gonna
the
make one.
copyright
swimsuit
issues.
edition, I don't know, but we'll be on it,
All
right?
right, hey,
This is the problem, right? I'm here. I'm under the lights. I mean, how do you say no to something like that? This was a genius maneuver on
You
your
heard
part.
it here. You heard it
Genius
here.
maneuver by you guys. Of course I would. You know, I'm
Yes.
going to look like a jerk if I say no now. You're giving me free Sharps beer.
We're
I mean,
gonna
you
get an
know.
email, and he's like, "You can't air that episode." Sorry.
In 2025, he'll get us on the cover.
That's right. I've alerted my
Okay,
lawyers.
That's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. John, thank you very
This was a
much
lot of
for
fun,
being
guys.
here.
Thank you. Really
It's pretty
appreciate
easy
it.
where they can find you guys, 401k Specialist Mag. easy. I go there every day.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I do, actually. And
And
so
seriously,
go
if you're
check it
watching
out.
this and you don't go there and you don't look at that, you need to.
Hey,
It's not even a
advisors,
question.
you're just
yeah.
not cool.
Advisors,
You're-
go to
you're behind
YouTube
the
and
times.
see the interviews that John's done with a lot of our industry pros. Those have been underviewed, and there's some good ones there.
Yeah,
I think there's some good
And
stuff.
you're always pumping them for us, so I appreciate
No, they're
that,
good.
man.
They're good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thanks again for tuning in. We are the Retireholics, plus the editor-in-chief. I want a chief in my name.
It's
You
pretty
do
cool.
have
that in
one.
there.
I guess it is in my name.
I never say
Yeah.
editor.
Chief Executive Officer. Well,
There you
Duh.
go.
mic drop.
You gotta
Changing the retirement plan industry, one beer at a time. See you next
Gives you
time.
help.
Hold on. Yes.
Really screwed up.
Roll tape, Brandon. Roll tape.
Roll tape, boys. Let's go.
Roll tape.
Where's my
This
microphone?
is not the first time this has happened.
We're here in Vegas. We're about to film an episode of Retireholics, and this imposter has jumped into our couch.
Whoa, hey,
This
how's it
is
going?
The 401k coach.
The one and
Charlie
only.
Epstein.
Whoa!
He's here. He's wearing the fanciest suits on the planet because that's what he does.
Always does.
Fashion.
Love it.
What do
Fashion and fit.
you have cool socks on though?
By the way,
Oh.
I heard a
You
really
might
nice
be
round of
celebrating
applause
those
for you,
things.
Coach. I heard a really nice round of applause
Was
for
that
you
him over there?
yesterday. Weren't you in the corner for a tech session yesterday, or was that this morning?
I was this
They all
morning.
kind of blend together.
That's someone else, bro.
You know, when you drink a lot of this stuff.
Hey, we haven't had any since
Yeah.
3 o'clock this morning.
Right.
So
Charlie, were you
Yeah.
timing that, or was it just perfect timing? You walking by like you're gonna jump in.
I have perfect pitch. Absolutely perfect pitch. Well, you've never invited me, so you know.
We are 100% down.
I mean, it was like
we're gonna.
they're
We're
so
first,
down on me, so I figured, hey.
first of all, we're gonna
in, man.
edit this
Hijack.
one in.
Oh, they were interviewing you. I'm sorry. Come sit on my lap. Come on, man.
This
Come
could
on.
get
Come
really
on,
good.
Charlie. I got stuff I gotta do.
Come on, let's get some room.
Well, this is
All right,
perfect.
401k coach signing out now. You're going to get the real deal. Maybe they'll have me back. What do you say, everybody?
Comments
Have me back?
below.
So just
Depends,
email.
depends.
We want the coach on the show.
.com.
Can you handle the truth? Can you handle the truth?
That's gonna be
Thank
great.
you, sir.
By the way, that will definitely go to the.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you guys want this on?
Oh, we left ours
Doesn't matter.
on. It's up to you.
No biggie either way.
Looks like I'm
You're definitely gonna work that in.